Speaking first will be Bougie, who is a donor father. He will share a bit of his story about their passage. And also following him will be Dr. Raja Kandaswamy. Dr. Kandaswamy is a liver and kidney surgeon, kidney, liver, pancreas surgeon at the University of Minnesota. I just think I gave you more. But take it all. A great colleague and partner, and someone who saves lives every day through the gifts of transplantation. So we will start with Gary. Please welcome Gary to the podium.
Can you hear me okay? I don't know about the acoustics. I'm so glad I'm going before the doctor. On a personal note, this is interesting for me. I literally grew up a mile and a half from here. And we used to come down here back in the Little House in Prairie days. And we would come down here and play on the steps, jump off the walls. And when we felt really mischievous, this is totally true, we'd come in here and holler and listen to the echo until we finally got kicked out, which happened all the time. In those days, I never thought I'd be standing here saying words to anyone other than my own voice listening to the echo. But I never thought in a million years that I would be standing here and saying, hello, I'm Gary Bougie. I'm the father of a donor. The word, first of all, the word donor didn't even exist in that situation back then. So this is tough. And so I want to tell you a little bit of a story about being the father of a donor. And it's important to you know about my son and the situation and how the donor process unfolded for us as a family, what it's meant to me. That's my story. 5 years ago, my 35-year-old son, and by the way, I don't care if they're 35, 85, or 2, a child is a child is a child. And I see a lot of shaking heads. A child is a child. My son went in for the gallbladder surgery on a Thursday night. He got a call in the morning. Due to complications, he passed away. Clearly unexpected. We had to wait for people to come in from out of town. And when they got in, we did what we had to do. Later that day, my daughter-in-law calls me and says, Grandpa, I just got a call from somebody, wants to know if Gary Joe could be a donor. And I remember thinking, I don't even know, intellectually I knew what that meant. And so we all as a family agreed, yes. But we didn't know what that meant or why we even said yes. So my first point to you, and in speaking to the converted, is make sure everyone you know is a donor. Do not leave it up to the family. We could have easily said no, and what I'm about to tell you would never have happened. So we fell into and my son left behind a 3-year-old, an 18-month-old, and a 6-month-old. So clearly we fell into a state of disbelief, denial, all the words and descriptions that you hear. And a couple weeks later, I looked up Life Source, and I went, oh, this is who called us. This is who called us. And I read on their website their mission statement. And it's to provide hope, healing, and life through excellence in eye donation and organ donation and tissue donation. And I was still pretty bitter a few weeks after my son passed away. And I will admit to being a little cynical, and I said, that's great. That's really great. That helps the recipients and their families. That's great. But what does it have to do with me? What does it have to do with my family? 6 months later, we received a letter from a recipient who received bone and tissue from my son. She was a competitive tennis player, and she said because of my son's donation, she was able to have her knee reconstructed and go back to competitive play. That letter changed my life. And for those of you that are young enough, and even the older ones, I'm going to ask you to think back when you were in high school or college, and you were in love with somebody, and you had a favorite song. And when you heard that favorite song, it made you happy because you were in love, the two of you. But then as life goes, probably broke up. And then you heard that same song, same words, but it had different meaning. Can anyone relate to that? Yep. Yeah. My wife did that to me, but she broke up with me, but I got back with her. I've been waiting for her back for 33 years. So after I got the letter, I reread the mission statement, offering life, healing, and hope through excellence in organ, eye, and tissue donation. And it was like listening to that song from a different perspective. Now I knew, aha, it was my aha moment. They are talking to me. They are talking to the donor families. Because it offered me hope that what happened to my son wasn't in vain. It offered me healing with my grief, which I'm doing fantastic with right now, as you can tell. For those of you that know, you never know when it's going to get you. And how did it offer me life? It offered me a new lease on life and a new perspective. A perspective that I share equally with my wife, Gary's mom, and his sister, and his son, and some uncles and cousins. So without donation, without life source, none of this would have happened. And so going forward, I want to make sure that everyone in this room, aside from the donor families, you get it. You have a story, but so do the recipients and the recipient families. And I can't begin to tell you how happy I am every time I hear those stories. Just like seeing a soldier coming home and seeing his family. It never, ever, ever, ever gets old. But also the people that don't have a personal story that are involved in this process, either with LifeSource or the sister organizations or support groups or outsourcing, the doctors, the nurses, whomever. You have a story. Last night I went on the new website and I checked out Meet Our Team. And I read the bios of the team. And it's a great job, by the way. And they talk about what they do. But that's not, excuse me, that's not what impressed me. They also talk about, with a paragraph or two at the end, what they get out of it and why they do it. So my second point is, everybody in this room has a story. Everybody. And like Ken Burns, the great American filmmaker, you know, he did all the wars and opioids, and the last one I saw was on country music. He does a great job. He's a premier storyteller. He said, if you want to affect someone, their heart and their mind, you want to connect them, tell them a story. And that's what we're being asked to do today. Tell your story. Tell the story to our elected officials, thanking them for the 30-year-long relationship that we've had and the support that they've given us. But make sure you tell them the story. We have great trust handouts and a lot of information. Intellectually, people get it. But it's only when you tell them the story, they connect it to you. And as I've heard Susan say it, you get a piece of their heart. So your call today, your call to action is to go in, meet with your legislators, and walk out with a piece of their heart. Thank you.